Happy Monday, February 3rd from The Good Doctors. I'm Dr. Kristen.
I'm Dr. Erin.
And today for The Good Doctors Diagnose, we want to have a brief moment about the way people talk about dress codes in the workplace and how we've noticed, and we're sure you have too, that there's quite a generational gap into the idea of appropriate.
That's right.
So you can do everything from things like body piercings and tattoos and hair color down to the physical clothing people are allowed to wear.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about generational differences in our work at Abbey Research, and this is one of the ones that comes up really frequently in discussions that we have with our clients and the people that we work with, but it's not one I don't think that's listed as a big priority or a big difference between generations. So when we talk about intergenerational conflict in the office, we don't often talk about like that Sally's wearing leggings and it pisses Bill off.
Or it pisses Anita off because especially women's dress is often very hostile between women.
But it does, and as we always talk about here in our work, even the smallest issues can create and perpetuate conflict, particularly between people who have very different life experiences or very different expectations of what the workplace environment should be. And that's everything from whether or not you have a ping pong table to whether or not you allow people to have casual dress on Wednesdays, or if people show up for meetings in a way that some people of a different generation might not feel is appropriate. So how do you navigate that tricky water?
And be aware that we are not talking about anything that has safety-specific dress.
No.
Any industry that has safety-specific dress should be exempt from this kind of conversation. We are speaking about dress codes in which safety is not an issue on any level. So one of the quick tips that we would offer is to actually have a conversation about it and create some sort of policy that perhaps goes for the entire office.
Yeah.
And if you are a company that cannot, for whatever reason, for instance, have nose piercings in a customer-facing role, then it needs to be written down somewhere.
Yeah.
It can't be subjective. In terms of defining what business casual is or business is, we would obviously encourage you to take a breath and consider how important this is in an office environment, especially as you're having new people. But if it is incredibly important to you as to what people look like in your workplace, it needs to be unilaterally applied. And also, please remember that different generations have different clothing available to them. And also that different socioeconomic brackets have different clothing available to them. And so if you have an understanding that all women should wear pantsuits, that's fine. It's super hard to find that in sizes that aren't a 14, so keep those kind of things involved.
Or in clothing establishments that are designed for older women as well. So they might not be in the shops that your younger employees would shop at, or affordable at the shops that your younger colleagues would shop at as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. But it's really important to have that conversation, even just to be reflexive about yourself, particularly if you're in a position of leadership, whether you are young or old. What are your expectations of your employees? How are your own generational biases impacting those expectations? And how are you applying that equitably or not equitably amongst your staff? So take some time to think through how you see the people that you lead and manage and how they see and talk to each other. It may seem like a small thing, but like we said, small things can become bigger conflicts, especially when they're not addressed and especially when they're not communicated clearly. So start from there.
And as always, if this is something that feels overwhelming or something where you just are looking at this video going, ladies, I have no idea what you're talking about and no idea where to start, please never hesitate to get in touch with us. You can book a call in a link below or get in touch with us on any other of our MyRaid social media. And we would love to explore this with you further. In the meantime, I'm Dr. Kristen.
I'm Dr. Erin.
And we'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.